As you all know, we've got about 150 trades in the Army, so we're a very large organisation, and you could say that we're a world within a world.
Now we started out with about 50 odd guys. A lot of them were missing home.
It's pretty hard actually, you're learning things all the time.
I feel dead proud. Definitely a changed person.
I like it, I enjoy it. It's good.
Good morning. Welcome to what some people call the coalface, the recruiting game. Let's face it, every Army career starts here. So, it's the cutting edge between civvy and Army life. And we think you, as a young soldier, should play a bigger part in it.
I just love Army life, and the training is excellent.
It's a very rewarding job.
The British Army, it's a very professional organisation. I've made a lot of friends and I've had a bloody good time.
Not all that long ago, is it, since you were in here yourself? But what you've been doing since has already become second nature, right? And you're enjoying it. At least, so they tell me. Well now, just for the next few days, all that's going on hold. We want you in here. What we want you for, and let's face it, you were hand-picked, making you a rather special soldier, best in your unit, so they tell me, is for something completely different. We want you now to help us recruit others who can come up to your standard and, like you, enjoy the challenge it offers. Let's face it, even though the Cold War's over, nobody thought of doing away with any of our other commitments worldwide. So we're still short of manpower. Trouble is, a lot of people your age read about Army cutbacks. These, together with a Superman image we sometimes see put over, makes a lot of them rule us out when it comes to finding a job. So, we've got to put them right by pushing 4 key issues. Our role, our training, the rewards they bring, and finally the Army's lifestyle. Fine so far. But who's going to convince them? Some old soldier like me? Or someone their own age? Someone smart, with it, talking their language? No contest, is there? You're the one who can really sell today's Army. Look at yourself. You're fit, you're motivated, you're competent. A satisfied soldier, enjoying a lifestyle anyone can look up to. Now look again. Could easily have been you, right? And don't tell me there's no difference. So, here you are then, day 1 of your week, wondering what it's got in store. Well, it's all right. Don't get nervous, just stay your natural self. It's what got you picked. And watch closely. This video, and the short set of notes that go with it, will tell you everything you need to know about what you'll be doing and what's expected of you. One of the first things we'll try is to get you into your local paper. Let people know you're here. If you went to school here, great. Best recruiting grounds of all schools.
You sign up for a minimum of 3 years.
Kids always want to know about institutions like the Army, whether they see themselves in it or not. Of course, a lot will have fixed opinions, so this is your chance to put them right. If the supermarket looks like their best option, let them see how far the Army beats stacking shelves. If they look like they've got brains, how many really great career opportunities it offers. And don't play down the humanitarian side. A lot of kids are idealists. So, plug what we do in places like Bosnia. And don't worry. We won't set you loose in the lion's den all on your own.
Thank you very much for inviting me here today to talk to your Year 10s and 11s and to give me the opportunity to give all of you here a first window on career opportunities with regard to the Army. As you are all aware, I'm sure, the Army has reduced quite considerably.
You'll be part of a formal presentation and asked to field a load of questions. Some of them dumb, sure, but a lot of them probably far from it.
more about himself in a minute.
Whichever.
Nearer your age.
Just answer them truthfully, from your own experience, nothing second-hand.
That you want to know. What's it like to go to Northern Ireland?
And no jobs I did in the Gulf when you've never been there. You'll blow your credibility.
So with no further ado, let me introduce now straight away Private Anstis. So just say a couple of words to you about what he's doing at the moment.
Good afternoon, I'm Private Anstis. I'm serving at the moment in the 1st Battalion of the Light Infantry, which is based in Colchester.
Today's army can't afford to sit back and wait for people to come to it. There's too much competition. We have to get out in the marketplace like everyone else. So you may find yourself in the job centre for a day. On your own too from time to time. And with a pretty good package to offer. After all, who else will give you a secure 3-year minimum contract with a good starting salary and on-the-job training?
I was just looking for some information about joining the army.
Oh, right. I'm just completing some paperwork. Lance Corporal Mitchell will sort you out over there.
All right, okay, thanks. He sent me over to speak to you about joining the army.
All right, mate.
Nice to meet
All right, what can I do you for?
I'd just like some information about joining, really.
Right, what are you interested in joining? The army? Are you as a trade or as a basic infantryman?
Is it trade, like either engineering or mechanics or something?
Right, so you're looking at the engineers or the REME, which is our mechanics. Right, what we can do...
In here, you may have to use a bit of nous though. Just because a bloke walks in with long hair and an earring, or a woolly cap, doesn't mean he won't make a good soldier.
You might change your mind, you might want to go for some...
So it's up to you to use your initiative in sifting out the no-hopers. Any real possibles, of course, you pass straight on to the permanent staff.
Run a mile and a half every day or so.
What do you reckon, like, makes a good soldier?
What do I think? Keen, physically fit. He's got to be quite fit to do the job. Just enjoy himself and get on with other people, really. If he can mix with other people, it's fine.
So much for your work outside. Job centre, school. But, well, there's no point in denying it. Most of your time will be spent here, inside the recruiting office.
One of the first things that you'll notice here is that absolutely no pressure of any kind is brought to bear on any visitor. Enlisting is, and must be seen to be, an entirely voluntary act.
Look friendly, but let him or her come to you when they're ready.
Could I take one of these?
And any doubts, ask.
Is that right, son?
Of course you can, sir.
Cheers.
He'll feel much easier coming back now. No hassle, see?
Right. Can I take it that you're all British? If anybody isn't, stick your hand up. You're not quite sure?
There is, as you probably remember yourself, a technical side to recruitment. This is no part of your brief, so put it out of your mind. You're here merely to talk and pass on your own experience, warts and all. No problem there, eh? One last point. 3 sensitive areas: drugs, sexual, ethnic minority issues. Don't get into them. Always pass them on to us. And never make a guess about something, then pass it off as an answer.
All that sort of stuff. It's purely up to you as to how far...
That said, as long as you are here, you could be called out any time for a chat with someone after a personal view.
Out of the two aspects, I think it's probably the services.
Don't kid yourself that this cosy little chat is unimportant. In today's world of recruiting, it can make all the difference between a yes, I'm in, and a no, sorry. You're there to reassure the anxious and convert the doubters, and don't you forget that. So, a few pointers to help you make the most of your chat. First off, body language. Yours.
I had a look at this and I think...
For a start, you're a trained soldier from a good unit, so be smart. Make eyeball contact by all means. But don't stare him down. You'll make him defensive. Strike a balance.
Right. No, I didn't...
Show some interest in what he's saying. Don't let him think he's talking to the wall.
You're still very much undecided, aren't you? You still need to know exactly what you're going to be going for.
and the signal.
Don't bully him either. He's after advice, not a lecture.
You've got to come here. Which does not amount to a crime in civilian life.
And whatever you do, don't drone out a lecture from a pamphlet.
For instance, you can discipline for disobeying an order. Penalties. Thanks.
Well, what did you expect? That was a total disaster. You lost your man, and we lost a recruit. Start again.
The basic training for the infantry and the signals is basically the same. Obviously small regimental differences, what they call things, but the syllabus is exactly the same. And the syllabus
That's better. Presenting yourself. He'll respect that.
Lifestyle, right. And obviously, yes, you fit basic.
Eyeball contact, yes. It's a bond, not a threat. Now you've made it, you can drop it or pick it up at will.
For dinner. It often depends.
Excellent. You're listening to him. He can see it in your eyes.
It seems like you get put in. Right.
Yes. Now this is you talking. This is exactly what he wants to hear. How the army comes across to you. Something personal.
They tell you when to shave, when to wake up, when to go to sleep.
You've got
Get
him.
marched to dinner as well. That's probably one of the worst things. You can't just go to your dinner.
So, body language. Now let's look at the interview itself. Structure what you have to say to put the army in the best possible light. After all, that's what he wants to hear.
If the recruiting office is large enough, there'll be a quiet room set aside where you can talk in private. There you go. Shout if you need anything.
This one-to-one interview is the real reason we're here. It's the main reason for this video.
So, what do you want to know? Well, first of all, I have to know about this fitness idea. How fit do you actually have to be?
Already not the best of starts. Your man's lost the initiative with just his first few words. Start again. Only now, let's take the initiative ourselves. No verbal bullying, but let's structure the interview so as to say a few more things than the average applicant might care to ask. Let's concentrate on 4 essential points. Your role, your training, your reward, and your lifestyle.
In fact, no, we'll sit over here. So, I'll start telling you a bit about the army and then you butt in if you have any questions or you want to go into detail about anything.
Great.
Firstly, the role that the army entails. It's the defence of the United Kingdom, plus its dependent countries. Also, you've got the UN tours, NATO tours.
I hear the phrase peacekeeping and I'm not quite sure what they actually do.
Well, that's there as a deterrent. That's like having British forces there as a deterrent.
That's better. You're in the driving seat.
Start fighting each other. That's why it's peacekeeping. So, taskings with the NATO and the UN and the peacekeeping and what have you, there's various locations that they go to, and it's all over Europe. Yeah. So let me tell you about training. Your first 10 weeks will be done at Recruit Selection Centre. That's where you'll do your CMS, Common Military Syllabus. That's 10 weeks. Quite hard basic training that everybody has to do.
I was thinking really on the sort of lines of finding a trade.
I don't really know that much about the tradesmen and that, but...
All right, you don't know, but you could find out. There's brochures in the office, read them. You'll have time. Watch the soldier recruiting video, ask the office staff. Find out about your own army.
I mean, infantrymen and the frontline men need them to be able to go to war because they need the food and they need the vehicles, maintenance. Yeah. There's like any number of trades in the army. You can get quite a few different jobs. So there's all the carpentry, bricklaying and all the rest of it, and then there's driving, vehicle maintenance, engineering.
You can get various city and guild qualifications. It doesn't matter whether it be for driving, mechanics, on the signal communication side. So you can end up, if you're qualified enough, working for things like Ferranti.
Well, after I qualify, I'll be in surgery working with patients, but on the military side, I can go on to my senior military qualification course, and there is always refresher courses.
I've gone away with civilian companies to actually learn different computer and programming languages. And to me, there's no other better training than in the forces.
No matter what trade you go in for, you'll be a soldier first.
When you're doing a trade and you're doing a soldiering, it seems like it's two jobs rolled sort of on top of each other.
Yeah.
What's the pay like for that sort of thing?
You're paid a full wage whilst you're going through training. Not like if you're on a YTS or something like that, you're getting £30 a week, you'd be getting something like £120 a week or something like that. You get your qualifications, you're paid whilst you're training, getting your qualifications that you can use in civilian street if you get out of the army. 9 out of 10 employers would prefer to employ an ex-services person because they know they've been well trained, it's the best training, plus they know they're disciplined and reliable.
So do you get a lot of opportunity to travel around?
Well, I've just come back from Norway. Next month I'll be going to Jamaica teaching the Jamaican army how to soldier.
So you get around a bit?
Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good fun as well. I mean, you get chances to do a bit of R&R. We're doing some free falling over there. Me and some of my mates are going doing that the Red Devils have set up for us.
Bit of a hit, I'd say. And all he did was to point out 4 important things. Role, what the army does. Training, how it looks after its own. Reward, what's in it for us. And lifestyle, what it's actually like to be in the army. And there are 2 other pointers before I go. Don't hurry your questioner along. Let him or her ask everything they want. Don't hassle them. And lastly, whichever unit you're in, remember it's the army you're selling as a whole. Regimental rivalry is out here. But it's not always just the recruit we have to convince. Sometimes it could be a parent or a guardian, or perhaps a careers master. We call these people the gatekeepers, because they can hold the gate open or slam it shut. And just sometimes you may come across the one who really knows it all, the gatekeeper from hell.
So, what can you tell this young lady about the army that I couldn't have told her already?
Well,
and don't you give me any flannel, young lady, because I know all about it, and believe me, it's a harder life than she thinks it is. And anyway, it's not natural, is it? I mean, it's not natural, is it, having all those women in the army, and you know what I mean by that, don't you? No offence, of course, to you, young lady.
If you calm down, madam, and
stay calm, how can I stay calm? I haven't even started on the men yet. I mean, they're all young and all running around, and God knows what's going to happen to my little girl.
I'll just call Miss Sergeant.
I don't suppose that's going to help. Why should I give them a chance? I've been listening to you for the last umpteen number of years, and what do you want?
I understand there's been a little bit of an upset.
There has been no upset whatsoever.
Perhaps I can do something to help.
I very much doubt that, young man.
Well, I've been in the army for a number of years, and I'm sure that I can reassure you if you'd care to take a seat.
I very much doubt you can reassure me about anything, but I will sit down.
Thank you. Private box. Perhaps you could take this young lady away for a talk yourself.
Okay, Sergeant.
Well, don't you sign anything, young lady, not until I've seen it. And even then, I'm not going to say yes.
Now, madam, please keep...
Sorry about my mum. I think she doesn't really understand about what I want to do. And she'd sooner I became a beautician or something like that.
When I first joined and I went into basic training, I thought, oh, God, what's going to happen?
Now there was a satisfied soldier doing exactly the right thing. She came to me before things got out of hand. And the mother? Well, she just wanted to let off some steam before she lost her daughter to the army, who's now doing very well.
Wherever you find yourself during your time with the recruiting office, job centre, school, youth club, among cadets, even the pub, just remember, you're an ambassador for the army. Be proud of it. There's a lot to be proud of. Let others share your pride. Tell them what it's done for you. It could do the same for them. Tell them.
Exactly.
So what do you do in an average day, kind of thing?
Yeah, is there a certain training session you have to pass before you go on?
Today's army, with its training, rewards, lifestyle, has done very well by you. And you're doing pretty well by it. You are, as they say, the best. But we need, and always will need, more like you. So, get spreading the word. Don't keep it all to yourself. Read all the brochures in the office. Look at the soldier recruiting video. And remember, role, training, reward, lifestyle. Tell others, if you can do it, they can do it too. Be the best.